What's going on, everybody? It's Kyle McGuire from United Soft Wash. What you doing, baby?
Making coffee, this Italian coffee maker that you broke because you're a caveman.
We're making some good progress on this roof. We just did this portion right here above the garage. What's the deal, everybody? I'm back. Hope everybody's doing good. It's your boy, Kyle McGuire from United Soft Wash out of Garner, North Carolina. Today, super excited. Super excited. Today, we're going to do a video on Medusa. All right, now, if you're new to the channel, welcome. Go ahead and punch that subscribe button. That way, you could get notifications. Oh, yeah, hit the notification bell. That way, you could get updates and notifications when I drop new content, new bangers. We make videos about all things exterior cleaning, so welcome to the channel. But if you're not new, you probably already know that a while back we bought a flatbed. We bought an Isuzu NPR that we named Medusa, and it's going to be our second rig that we have. Right now we're running this F350 with an awesome build from Southeast Soft Wash, a dual blend plus. It has two soft wash systems, two dedicated soft wash systems, as well as a Honda 4-gallon a minute pressure washer. We wanted a additional build that we could maybe take to some bigger projects where we could have, two machines on it at least. That way it can afford us the ability to knock out some jobs a lot faster. And I'm excited to tell you that we've made a lot of progress with the help of, big shout out to Industrial Cleaning Equipment, ICE. They're out of Wilmington, North Carolina, which is not far from my stomping grounds in Brunswick County, where I'm from. Now I live in Garner. Wilmington's still not bad. It's right down the way. And last week, me and the wife, Lindsay, she's in the house right now. She's about to come out. We went to Key West for a week, and we planned our flights out of Wilmington. That way we could drop off the truck, and them jokers down there could do work. They acquired us the equipment that we thought long and hard about, what we wanted. They got all the equipment for us, and while we were down there in Key West, drinking it up, and I would say soaking up the sun rays, but it was freezing down there, so we stayed inside most of the time. But while we were down there, they hooked us up with an awesome rig, so we have a great platform right now. Still have some additional things that we want to do. We're not done, so by any means, we got a little bit more work to do to get it to how we want it. But I'll show you guys Medusa, y'all, so stay tuned. Wow. Alright guys, so here we are. Just did a spin around. I told you guys a couple months ago, whenever we got the truck, we wanted to make a monster washing truck, something that's capable of going in and knocking out a lot of big houses, knocking them out quickly, not rushing it, still doing things the right way, but we wanted to have a lot of flow and a lot of water, and that's exactly what we did. So I'll start walking around the truck with you guys and show you everything that we have so far. As you can see from that walk around that we did originally, we had a bunch of sprayer equipment. We had a big fiberglass tank and a lot of big toolboxes that had some old motors in it that they were using for spraying pesticides and fertilizer and stuff. We've removed all that stuff. The only drawback was when we removed it, we had a lot of holes in the bed. So what we've done is we've put down 1/4 inch aluminum, smooth aluminum, recessed all the screws. That way everything's flush. The whole bed is aluminum now, and we don't have all the holes from where we had the plumbing coming up for the old tanks and fertilizer and stuff like that. So we got a fresh deck. That way it's gonna hold up to all the corrosive agents and stuff that we use. And it also gave us a lot more stability when it came to mounting this hardware, because the bed had an aluminum subframe. So the whole bed wasn't aluminum before, it was fiberglass. So we had to put down more rigid structure. That way we could mount all our hardware and equipment to, and we could be safe going down the road. So the heart of the truck is this Honda IGX 800. This thing is a monster. It's the biggest, baddest pressure washer that's on the industry right now. We could spray up to 70 linear feet when spraying chemical with this machine. And the coolest thing about it is it's fuel injected. So we're not gonna have a lot of the issues that you have with a carburetor machine, because now you have fuel injection. You also you're not gonna have a lot of those issues that you have with the ignition coil on a lot of the IGX 690s. So this machine right here at 3,000 RPM is 11 gallons a minute. So this thing is a monster. That's why we got a really big buffer tank, so we can continue to feed this thing water. And at 11 gallons a minute, we're gonna have a ton of flow, so we can knock out a lot of surface cleaning if we have flat work, or we could do a lot of spraying on houses, big buildings. We can apply a lot of chemical quickly. Another machine that we have is we opted for this GX 630. This is a 6 gallon a minute machine. It's also a belt drive machine. This thing is a monster as well. This is going to afford us the ability to have more than one machine, so we could run multiple people at the same time. Before, with our setup, we have the GX 390, which is a great machine. It's 4 gallons a minute, 4,000 PSI. But the drawback is if I'm surface cleaning a driveway, I can't be washing the house. Even though I could rinse with a 12 volt system, I prefer to rinse a house with the pressure washer using the high pressure ball valve. I can't pressure wash a driveway, or Lindsay can't pressure wash a driveway with me applying chemical and rinsing a house at the same time. So this rig's gonna afford us or employees the ability to do just that. So now we have this monster machine right here, the IGX 800, and we have this 6 gallon a minute GX 630 right here. So two big machines. The other big difference between our old rig and this one is we have went air compressor for our dedicated soft wash system. Before we were using 12 volt. Still love 12 volt systems. There's a ton of benefits. I've gotten a ton of questions from new guys asking questions about 12 volt and should they buy one of these new roof pumps that people are talking about, the gasoline roof pumps, or should they go air compressor. There's pros and cons to each. There's a lot of reasons why we went air compressor. Still love the affordability of 12 volt and the simplicity when it comes to repairs and upkeep and swapping out a 12 volt pump. But there's a lot of benefits that this air compressor has that the 12 volt doesn't have. We could get a little bit more distance with this. As far as a reliability standpoint, it's going to be a little bit more reliable for us. And I feel comfortable being mechanically sound and electrically sound, that any issues we have with this, I'm fully capable of fixing in the field. So we don't have to have the simplicity that a 12 volt comes with. We could work on a little bit more complicated stuff. So we opted for an air compressor. This is a GX 200. It's an 8 gallon air compressor, and it's tied to a Yamada pump. So we're using a Yamada pump with our air compressor system. This thing is awesome. So I was playing with it earlier, tinkering around with it. We're getting awesome distance out of this thing, and I'm super excited to do some soft washing with it, knocking out some roofs, me and Lindsay. The soft wash system itself, we stuck with the GF valves. When I picked up the truck, this was kind of last minute because we were tweaking it how we wanted. It's a mixed proportioning system just like we have on the soft wash system, where we have our water, bleach, surfactant. I just have to go back and add True Blue to this mixer valve system because I don't have True Blue, and I'm a stickler for that. I know that that's only a matter of time before that leaks, so I'm going to do True Blue on that system. We have a Joe box, a heavy duty Joe box on the truck. This is where we're going to put some of our acids, whether it's pre-mixed acid like F9 bark, or we're going to put some degreasers in here. Any chemicals that we have by the gallon jug. So, as I was saying, anything that we have by the gallon jug or any odds and end parts like hose barbs, clamps, J-rods, all our little trinkets and stuff like that, we're going to put in here. That way we don't lose track of it. So we'll walk around. Some really other cool stuff, super excited about over here. Before we had a 4 gallon a minute direct drive machine, so we didn't have the buffer tank. We were heavily reliant on the pressure from the person's house to feed our 4 gallon a minute machine. A lot of areas in North Carolina are good, but I've noticed that the pressure at some houses just aren't up to snuff. So we have a 525 gallon buffer tank right here. We're never going to drive with it full, probably drive with it with like a third and start loading it with water when we get to the job site. But this is going to feed both of our big machines. Have a custom aluminum, marine grade aluminum surface cleaner rack right here. ICE did an amazing job. As you can see, the welds are all super good. They've lined it with rubber and made us a custom bracket. That way we can mount our surface cleaner right here. This is a new surface cleaner. We've used the BE 20-inch Whirlaway before. It's a great surface cleaner, so we have a redundancy right here that we're going to keep on the side of the truck. Right here we have our hose reel for our soft wash system. We're running 1/2-inch line. We have, I think it's 200 feet right here, or 220 feet for our soft wash system. And then here we have our stackable high pressure hose reels, as well as our feed line. That way we can feed the buffer tank. Both of these are manual, or all of these are manual. We did have some electric reels that we chose not to use just because they were older. They were all chewed up, and the last thing I wanted was a new pressure washing trailer to have a lot of issues out in the field, especially if we were to have an employee out there that might not be able to fix things. We wanted things that were simple to use and that had less of a chance of breaking down on us. The benefit is they're still short enough where Lindsay could reach both of them too. If she's doing some work, she don't have to have any issues pulling out any hose. The truck, the F350, is a little tall where she has to climb up on the truck, and that's just an injury waiting to happen. So we have 100 feet right now on all of the hose reels. We're going to add another 100 feet of pressure hose. That way we have 200 on each. The cool thing is the 11 gallon a minute machine is tied to both of these reels. So if we wanted 11 gallons a minute at 3,000 PSI, we could just use just this reel right here. Or if we were rinsing a big property after we applied chemical, that one machine I've split right here with a whip line, and we could run both hose reels with 2 guns off of that one machine itself, so 2 people could be working off of that one Honda GX800. The other pressure line right here is for the 6 gallon a minute machine, so someone could be running the surface cleaner, whether it's this one right here or our big guy. This is a 28-inch big guy surface cleaner. This is something that I'm super excited about because now we have a lot more gallons per minute, a lot more flow. We can move the surface cleaner a lot faster than we could before. We were using a 20-inch surface cleaner on a 4 gallon a minute machine, which was doable. It's not ideal. Typically you want to stay at 4 inches per gallon per minute that you have on your machine. So if you have a 4 gallon a minute machine, you want 4, 8, 12, 16-inch surface cleaner at the max. We were pushing a little bit with 20, but this right here is a lot bigger than we had before, and it's going to clean a lot more real estate a lot faster. So we're super excited about that. And to tie it all in together, we got the fuel tanks right there. We have the Yamada pump, air pump behind the fuel tanks, and we have a little bit more real estate back there to play with that we're going to probably put a custom bracket. That way we can hold a couple X-Jet jugs as a redundancy, or just extra chemical. If our chemical tank back there runs dry, we have a couple 5 gallon pails that we could pour in there as a backup. So that's it. That's what we got right there. Super excited about it. Lindsay, what you think right now? I'll grab the camera.
So I really like that everything is so accessible for me. Like if I built a rig, this is probably what it would look like. Just because everything, I can access everything. I can access the toolbox. It doesn't open from the top. It opens like straight out. So like all of this is super easy for me. I can reach all the way in here. It's perfect. I like that. The surface cleaners, everything is just so accessible. Like on this side, this big surface cleaner that we got, I'm so excited about that because that's going to cut down a lot of time. all of the hose reels and everything. I don't have to climb up on anything. I don't have to like risk any injury or anything like that. This surface cleaner is easily accessible for me. I can just lift it straight up right there. And then the hand wash station. I'm so excited about this hand wash station.
Super excited about that. Show them that hand wash station.
So I got chemical on my hands one time and I was freaking out because I think it was my first job and I was like, oh my God, like I'm gonna die. And I'm hunting around for a hose. And then this is so easy right here. You can just come cut this on.
Right here at a ball valve.
Yeah. It's so easy. And then you have this big dump where if this is full and you need to dump some of the water out, you can cut this nozzle on and then it'll empty the tank completely in 2 minutes. So everything is just very easy for me, and I'm 5'2", so if it's easy for me, it'll be easy for anybody to get to anything. Everything is on the outside. It's very like just there. It's self-explanatory.
The last truck proves to be a little difficult, even for myself, and I'm 6 foot. We have a F350. It's already a large truck. It has a lift kit on it, a 2-inch lift kit, and it has 35-inch tires. So you have to climb onto the truck via the tire to access not just the hose reels, but the ladder rack. So it's just an injury waiting to happen. This is a lot more user-friendly. It's a lot safer. So I think me and Lindsay are both super excited about that. What else we got to do to it? We got a couple more things we want to do to make it how we want it.
So we're gonna have a remote injection system. So anywhere that we're at on the property, we can control the injection system from wherever we are, which is gonna save us time and sanity. So that'll be really great. We'll have to keep running and making trips because everybody's property size is different. And the ladder racks, we're gonna add some ladder racks to the rig and then we should be done.
Yeah, that's it. We're gonna add a custom ladder rack. I have a friend who's a welder who's gonna make us something one-off just for us. It's going to be super cool. And as Lindsay was just saying, I failed to mention that earlier, so thank you. Before, we were reliant on using an X-Jet or using our 12-volt system to apply chemical. So we've made the transition to where now we're using downstream injectors, right? We still have a soft wash system, which is primarily going to be for roofs, but 90% of the time we could be in and out of jobs a lot faster if we're just downstreaming right here. So adding the remote downstream injection, whether it's a shirts box or a gringo sauce box, we haven't decided yet, that's gonna allow us to use a remote control, whether we could be on the other side of a building on the other side of a building, and we could turn soap on or soap off without ever coming back to the truck. So we're super excited about that. And what's the last thing we got to do? We got to make this thing pretty, right?
Oh, the wrap. We're gonna wrap the truck. We're gonna put a wrap on the doors and whatever down the sides. Let it be covered up, left over. It feels kind of flush though, so I don't know. Hopefully the wrap will take care of that. So we're gonna make it pretty. Put a fresh coat of paint on her. Put a fresh wrap on her. I think that's it.
Yeah, that will be it. As soon as we we're gonna vinyl wrap this cab right here. As Lindsay said, do some lettering, and on the ladder rack, we're gonna have it fabbed up where we'll have a sign going across the top. It's gonna either probably say roof clean and house wash is really big with our phone number, just the service and our number, just like a yard sign. Keep it simple, that way people can read it going down the highway, or if they see it in the parking lot, they get the gist of what we're doing. So I'm super excited about it. Let me switch it over here so we get some better light. Hope you guys like it. I want to say thank you guys. We just hit 4,500 subscribers, so we're right there at 5,000. Couldn't do it without y'all. We appreciate the support. Haven't made a lot of videos in the past couple weeks just because it's been so busy, guys, and we had a vacation. So now that things are slowing down, it's that time of year where we can crank out a lot more content. We're gonna add a lot of value. That way some of you guys could soak up some of the knowledge and some of the OE that we had to learn the hard way. That's my goal, teaching you guys some things. That way you have it a lot easier. So thank you guys. We'll talk to you soon. We'll get with you. Peace.